Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy motherfucking Monday. How we doing, man? This is episode 192 of the Music Mondays podcast, man. Only 8 left. Only 8 left. We hit the big 200. That's exciting. That is really, really exciting. Lots going down. Lots of cool updates. Got some reactions and reviews, weekly recap jazz. You guys know the drill. But like I said, I'm your host, Thomas Blaze. Welcome. Happy Monday. Today is September 23rd. I feel like September quite literally flew by like super fucking fast. Like it's actually pretty crazy. Pretty fucking crazy. We got the homie Sam's Raps in the chat. Welcome on in, Sam. I hope you're well. Happy Monday. Let's fucking get it, baby. All right. Let's dive into it, man. So, let's start off light. Let's go off with some weekly recap jazz, and let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So, all right. You guys know the drill. Music Money's basic logo t-shirts are in stock. We are actually low in stock. We shipped a few out last week, so if you're looking to get a Music Money's logo t-shirt, now is the time. We have a few larges, mediums, and smalls left. Make sure you send us a message or an email if you're interested in that as well. Every Tuesday, early access Patreon content goes live. So last Tuesday, we put up episode 191 of the Music Money's podcast early before it went live on all platforms. So make sure you go check out the Patreon. Huge shout out to all of our current Patrons. You guys are amazing. Kruker, Ryuki, King Mark, Laveries, and the homie Jordan. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So early access Patreon content is live right now. That was last Tuesday. Heading into Wednesday, SoundCloud Sunday submissions open every single Wednesday. You guys know the drill. So make sure you follow us on socials. Stay up to date when all those submissions go live. Then we headed into Thursday with episode 191 of the Music Money's podcast going live on all audio platforms. Every time you watch an episode here on Monday, it'll be live every Thursday on all audio platforms, right? Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good jazz. Make sure you go check those out and go show those some love. Episode 191 is available right now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts. It is available right now, so go check that out. Go show those artists some love. So that was Thursday, and of course we also drop a YouTube video every Thursday and Friday to be exact. So last week on episode 191 of the Music Money's podcast, we sat down and spoke a little bit about a major Cyberfest 2 announcement, which was on this past Friday. So we'll be talking about that here shortly, but we actually have a YouTube upload regarding that, so that's live on the channel right now. Make sure you go check that out and go show that some love. We're actually 4 subs away from 300 subscribers on the Music Money's YouTube channel, which is actually fucking crazy. So inching there, definitely inching there. We're on our way, man. So only 4 away. So make sure you go show the channel, these artists, and the video some love. New videos every Thursday, every Saturday. You guys know the drill. So that was Thursday. Pretty packed Thursday per usual. Usually our weeks are pretty stacked, but Thursdays are like ultra stacked, you know. But heading into Friday, we actually dropped the Cyberfest 2 official lineup. So that's available on all socials. Huge shout out to everybody who wanted to participate in Cyberfest 2. We're going to be talking about that here on the show in a bit, but the flyer actually dropped on Friday, so make sure you go check our socials and go check that out and go show all those artists some love. We'll be breaking that down here shortly. And then heading into Saturday, we dropped a brand new article by Music Money staff writer Paisley. Now, Paisley actually dropped a wonderful article on why underground support is important for multiple reasons, right? Not just independent art and music and things like that, but more so activism and a whole lot of really, really interesting topics got discussed. So make sure you go check that out and go show that some love, and huge shout out to Paisley. That was actually their first article since they became a Music Money staff member, so definitely go check that out. That was their first piece, so that was really cool. We have a whole like massive stack of like insane pieces we dropped this year, so definitely go browse around the site and go check out pretty much everything that we've posted as of lately. We have an insane library for this. But like I said, huge shout out to Paisley. Make sure you go show them love and go check out their recent piece. And then, of course, as well, on Saturday, we dropped episode 191 of the Music Money podcast on our YouTube channel. So, again, you can expect those on our YouTube channel every Saturday. For those of you that enjoy the show on YouTube, you can expect those on the channel every single Saturday following the live show here on Monday. So you guys know that. Episode 191 of the Music Mondays podcast is live on the channel. Huge shout out to everybody that ran that up, went and showed that some love, and huge shout out to everybody that submitted to episode 191. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So per usual, that was Saturday. Decently stacked Saturday, I will say, for sure. But then heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 153 dropped. That was curated by myself, the homie Jester, Music Monday staff curator, and our other Music Monday staff curator, the homie Ivanko. So SoundCloud Sunday has had like a massive level up as of recently. Our curators have been killing it, so huge shout out to all the Music Monday staff curators, man. They've been absolutely fucking banging out these lists. And we've been putting together some decent playlists, man, as of lately. I mean, SoundCloud Sunday is always going to be like really bumping anyway, but as of recently, it's been like a pretty wide variety, which is sick. But huge shout out to the homie Jester and Ivanko for curating that with me, and huge shout out to 60 for getting on the art as well for volume 153. Go check that out. Go show that some love, and go check out our SoundCloud as well, because we have a huge stash of not only playlists but music over there as well. Make sure you go show that some love. And of course, if you're ever interested in SoundCloud Sunday, those submissions open every single Wednesday, so make sure you follow us on socials. Like I said, just stay up to date when those go live. So that was basically your weekly recap for the last week or so. That's pretty much everything major that you missed or didn't know about or probably missed, like I said, over the course of the last week. So that's that, my friends. So a couple of other things before we get into some reactions and reviews here. So we're going to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We're going to talk about Cyberfest 2 here for a second, and then we'll get into some reactions and reviews. So a couple things, and then we're going to dive right in. So okay, let me just pull that up. All right, we're good. So let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's get into it. Man, so as you all know, Cyberfest 2 is pretty much well underway. We are less than a week away. It'll be taking place this Saturday, September 28th, 2024. So that's pretty much the big thing this week. We'll be rolling out some trailers, a couple more flyers, some more promo for Cyberfest 2. So that'll be the big talk of the town for us up until the event is pretty much finalized. And then you'll kind of see some post-event promo and things like that. But Cyberfest 2 is like a big thing right now, so that's kind of like taking up the bulk of all the staff's time and things like that. So that's one major thing. I pretty much finalized what we're going to do with the Patreon as far as like upgrading that as well, and making sure that we add some more perks to each tier, right? So Cyberfest 2 and the Patreon are going to be pretty much the rest of September and like early October-ish. Bigger plans anyway, as far as that goes. And then of course, your weekly and monthly content will stay the same, right? So a couple new playlist updates are ready to go. Underground Classics, Across the Pond. We have a few things like the monthly as well. And of course, SoundCloud Sunday. So a lot of those playlists will be getting updated per usual. And of course, the weekly content will stay the same, right? So the Music Mondays podcast is never changing. You'll have your weekly articles on Fridays. Submissions open for SoundCloud Sunday on Wednesday. The podcast submissions open every single Tuesday. So that'll pretty much all stay the same. But as far as this week goes, you'll see a lot of Cyberfest 2 stuff be talked about. You'll see a lot of Patreon stuff kind of be teased as well. I just have to get a few things ready when it comes to that. And then I think the last thing is really getting like one more piece of merch promo out, just to let everybody know that we're like running low on stock. And that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Those three things are like very important, but mainly Cyberfest 2 stuff is going to be the big deal this week for sure. But again, the usual stuff will stay the same. You guys know that. So yeah, that's kind of like what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of next week, what's going on in the background, things like that. So Cyberfest 2 week, big week for us, big week for everybody. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. And I'm excited. So we did some weekly recap jazz. We talked about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Before we get into some Cyberfest 2 talks, I do want to mention that Music Mondays is recruiting, so we are on the hunt for writers, journalists, curators, designers. If you want to do short form media, you want to do some long form media for the YouTube channel, We're on the hunt for new staff members, right? I think we're trying to still fill at least like 3 or 4 more slots before we kind of close off the team. So again, if that's something you're interested in, definitely let us know. Send us an email, send me a message, send Music Mondays a message. Anything like that works. And of course, we have a detailed role guide on our YouTube channel where I kind of break down all the Music Monday staff roles, what everything kind of consists of, what each role kind of does around Music Monday, and things like that. So if you have any more questions, definitely let us know, or definitely go check out the role guide because that's actually a really great video, to be honest with you. So that's live on the channel now. Go check that out. So Music Mondays is recruiting, but the other thing that I do want to talk about is actually SoundCloud exclusives. So we are on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives per usual. If you have an unreleased track that you'd like to have hosted on the Music Monday SoundCloud and promoted across all of our social medias for free, definitely let us know. We are interested in only unreleased tracks, so if you want to have us host the SoundCloud version and you want to go distro the track anywhere else, that's fine too. But we're only interested in the SoundCloud version. So again, definitely get in contact with us if that's something that you're interested in, because we'll be looking over the course of the rest of the year, realistically. Definitely let us know if you want to have a track hosted on the Music Monday SoundCloud. And of course, obviously the goal being that we ultimately promote artists in like a different way, right? But we're also building up an archive. We're also giving our audience over there on SoundCloud a little bit more of a different piece of content, right? Especially when it comes to like exclusive tracks that they can't get anywhere else. So again, if that's something you're interested in, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to have that conversation with you. So, outside of that, we are on the hunt for YouTube exclusives as well. So again, if you have a visual, a lyric video, a music video, something like that that you like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel for free, and of course, we're pretty much almost at 300 subscribers now. I think we're only about 4 away. So definitely let us know if that's something that you're interested in. Even if you just want some audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, definitely let us know because that'll be a conversation that we're happy to have with you. Of course, we're only interested in unreleased tracks as well. So again, feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards, but we only want the unreleased versions of tracks. Who, pretty much supporters can exclusively find it over here when it comes to Music Mondays, right? So again, SoundCloud and YouTube, we are on the hunt for exclusives. So definitely let us know if that's something that interests you and you want to get done because we're looking. We are absolutely looking. So, all right. So weekly recap stuff. What's coming on Music Mondays over the course of next week? We did SoundCloud exclusives. We did YouTube exclusives. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is actually very important. So we're gonna talk Cyberfest 2. So many of you know over the course of I'd say like the last like 2 months, right? So it's September, August, July. I mean, Cyberfest 2 talks probably started at like mid-June, late June, somewhere around there. And we finally got around to planning around July, and then took a while to like hunker down a date, but we finally got everything together when it comes to Cyberfest 2. Then we were able to finally get everything in line when it comes to the lineup, flyer. Like I said, date also was like a big thing. But yeah, it's finally in motion. So we have the date, we have everything ready to go, and that's what we're about to talk about here today. Let's get into it. I'm gonna sip some coffee and we're gonna go over some Cyberfest jazz. All right, so what I'm going to pull up on screen now is the Cyberfest 2 lineup and the Cyberfest 2 flyer. So we're going to dive into this and absolutely have a little conversation about Cyberfest 2 because this will be exciting. All right, chug a little caffeine. Let's do this. Cyberfest 2 will be taking place September 28th, which is next Saturday. So quite literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days from today. So if you're watching the show live, it'll be 5 days. If you're watching this on YouTube, Cyberfest 2 will be live. So make sure you go tune in to Cyberfest 2. But it'll be taking place on September 28th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. in the Music Money's Discord, as well as live streamed here on the Zomslays channel, the host of the Music Money's podcast, right? So you can kind of tune in on Twitch if you want to watch it over there. If you want to actually get more involved in the show and start spamming in the chats and get involved with the Discord, you can go check out the show Discord as well. So it'll be a pretty much a double URL fest, right? So it's not only going to be taking place in Discord, but we'll be live streaming it as well. So whatever you feel comfortable with, tuning in, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So, again, the lineup is live as well. So we have a pretty good mix here. We have a pretty good mix of not only producers, we have a few collectives, we have some Music Money's familiar faces, we have some newer Music Money's community members. So let's just go run down the lineup. So we'll have performances by the homies over at Misfit Click, which is Music Money's staff member Jaded's collective as well. The homie Aster will be performing a set, Music Money staff designer. King Mark will be performing a set as well. Many of you know King Mark from the show. Con Benny 2004 and 63 will be performing a set. Seventh Circle Entertainments, which is Jada's actually other collective, they'll be performing a set as well with a couple new members, which will be sick. We have the homie Waterfalls. They'll be performing probably an insane set of like production and vocal. That one's gonna be nuts. That one's definitely gonna be fucking nuts. And of course the homie Kale, fantastic producer that we used to actually react to a lot here on the show, relatively early on. And then the homie Arctic will be coming through for a production set as well. The homie Yesker, who actually wanted to be a part of Cyberfest 1, but we couldn't fit them in on the set list because it was pretty much far done at that point. So I wanted to make sure that we got Yesker on Cyberfest 2. So they'll be making their debut on Cyberfest 2 as well. So that'd be sick. We're gonna have the homie Ray Lowe as well. They'll be making their second Cyberfest appearance. I believe they were in 2022's as well. I don't think there are many other returning members here, so I think Kale and Ray Lowe are the only ones that are returning from Cyberfest 2022, which is pretty sick. And then we'll have the homie Jordan, which is a Music Money's pretty much veteran at this point. Many of you know that watch the show are pretty much aware of Jordan. So I was pretty excited to have them a part of Cyberfest 2. The homie Silver Blue, which is a underground veteran that I've known for quite literally like 7 years. And of course, I'll be performing a set as well, which is kind of rare. So that'll be fun. We'll have the homie Jara, who's pretty new to the Music Money community, but a very, very talented producer. And of course, we'll have the homie Braden, which again is another music consistent artist, man. They were killing it there for like a good duration of like 20. I'm excited to have Braden on board, the homie Drama Eyes, and the homie Sam's Raps. So again, a good mix of like alternative hip hop, some really good plug artists, a lot of production, a couple collectives. So it'll be a really good mix of not only the Music Money's community, but the underground community in general, right? Lots of genres, lots of talent, some known artists, some relatively unknown artists, some newer artists. It's a good mix. You know what I mean? It's a really, really good mix. And again, I didn't want to go too crazy with this year's lineup when it comes to Cyberfest because I have some other plans when it comes to the future of Cyberfest, right? So I want to keep doing single shows just to see how they turn out and make sure that we keep, the show's quality at kind of like the same point. So that'll be your 2024 Cyberfest 2 lineup. Make sure you go check all these artists out. Make sure you go show them some love. Make sure you go check out the post on all of our socials so you can go find this flyer here and go check out all these artists, with their tags. So make sure you go show them some love. And of course, make sure you join the Music Money's Discord if you want to get, more involved. Or of course, make sure you follow my channel here so you don't miss the event live streamed on this channel quite literally this Saturday. So make sure you join the Discord. Make sure you follow on Twitch, of course. And of course, the show is sponsored by the homies over at Moon River Management, Digital Life Operating System, and Feel Alive Media. So we have some other media platforms here that wanted to come in and just show some love and share the flyer. So huge shout out to all of them that wanted to get involved and actually sponsor the show, right? And share some love and spread the message. So huge shout out to them as well. And of course, flyer by me. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Huge shout out to Mark. Everybody who ran to flyer and showed some love. Huge shout out to all you guys. But like I said, that's not even like the tip of the iceberg. We have a couple of trailers that are ready to go when it comes to Cyberfest 2. We have some other goodies planned when it comes to Cyberfest 2. So it'll be a pretty stacked week when it comes to updates regarding the show, what's coming on the show, and how to get more involved and things like that. So, and of course, I'll be working closely with all the artists to make sure that they're ready to go. So make sure you mark your calendars. Cyberfest 2, September 28th, this Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join the Discord, follow the channel. Make sure you go follow all these artists and get ready for a fun time, man, because you'll be seeing these a lot more when it comes to events here on Music Mondays. But that's kind of like the rundown on Cyberfest 2. Again, make sure you go run the post up, go show that some love. And this will definitely be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel with everything in the description. So make sure you join the Discord and all that good jazz. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we are 4 subs away from 300. 300. Make sure you go show the channel and these artists and these videos some love. New videos every Thursday and every Saturday. Let's fucking get it. All right. So, quick Cyberfest 2 rundown. I'm excited. I have a ton of work ahead of me when it comes to Cyberfest 2, so it's gonna be a pretty crazy week for me. But again, like I said, I'm excited. So, and I know everybody else is when it comes to Cyberfest. All the things that they'll be doing, right? I know we'll have some visual sets, and I'm not gonna link too much, but I know the artists have like a lot of fun shit plans for sure. So exciting, man, very exciting. But okay, you guys know the drill. Let's get into some reactions and reviews. It's about that time, my friends. It's about that time. So, for those of you that are new here, and for those of you that aren't new here, you guys know the drill. But if you are, submissions are always in the same format, and the tweets will always read artists and creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on September 23rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twitch.tv/plays, which is here and now. Like I said, pretty much the only thing that changes about these tweets is the date. So make sure you check the date, drop your links. You'll be good to go. And of course, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. But per usual, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've pretty much reacted to everything here on the show. Obviously, everything from music to instrumentals to merchandise, photography, videography, fashion pieces, rough drafts, unreleased music videos, YouTube edits. We've pretty much reacted to everything here on the show. Of course, with the logic being that a lot of artists are multi-talented, right? A lot of artists kind of have more than one skill, right? A lot of producers also do vocals. A lot of vocalists also do physical artwork, and vice versa. So we wanted to make sure that we touched all corners when it comes to submissions here on the show. So again, if you feel like you deserve some spotlight on the Music Monday podcast, definitely feel free to submit whatever, my friends. I am always down. Always down. So, outside of that, for our show limit, per usual, just to make the show a little bit more palatable to watch back and not as long as our older shows. Like I always say, you could kind of argue that a 4-hour shows was still a little bit long, but not as long as our longer old shows that were like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. So those used to get a little rowdy for sure. Those used to get a little rowdy, but with us being one of the only weekly live shows here on Twitch on Mondays, it just takes a little bit of the pressure off when it comes to some of those longer shows. Right? So again, just keep that in mind for our show limit per usual. And of course, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Not only to help grow our platform, right, but just to pay respect to everybody else that does follow Music Mondays on Twitter and waits for their submissions to be reacted to each week. And of course, you gain access to pretty much a massive community of wonderfully talented, friendly underground creatives. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a win-win when it comes down to that. So again, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But just make sure you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you do submit, per usual. And of course, Patreon subscribers submissions are played first every single week. So when it comes down to the Music Mondays Patreon, if you're subscribed at pretty much any tier when it comes to the basic, advanced, or premium tiers, you gain access to what's called the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which again grants you the ability to have all your submissions played first here on the show every single week. So again, say you pledge to the Music Mondays Patreon tonight. So for the next 4 Mondays, the 30th, the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st, you could have all your submissions played first here on the show before everybody else. And of course, in addition to a large amount of other goodies, right? And of course, we're going to be uploading or updating our Patreon here relatively soon. So expect more stuff when it comes down to that. But that's kind of the deal with the Music Mondays Fast Pass. And again, Patreon submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So outside of that, I think the last thing we gotta talk about is submissions are closed. So again, a good rule of thumb is if you see the show live, submissions are probably closed. As a matter of fact, they are closed. You have roughly about, I'd say, 6 or so days to get your submission. So again, just keep that in mind. Submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts, just so we can get a quick head count, kind of see what the show's looking like when it comes down to the length and who submitted and if we have any repeat submissions and things like that. So again, submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts, just so we don't get any late ones, and kind of messes up the mojo, right? So again, just keep that in mind. But you have plenty of time to submit. You actually have about, like I said, about like 6.5 days realistically, because if you're watching the show live here tonight, submissions open for episode 193 tomorrow. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, they're already open. Make sure you go submit your tracks, right? But yeah, you have about pretty much 6+ days, right? I'd say like 6.5. So make sure you get your tracks in and keep your eyes peeled for submissions. Make sure you always check the date, man. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the Music Mondays podcast. We do have a detailed guide on our YouTube channel where I kind of break down the logic and the lore and background of the Music Mondays podcast, why we take submissions on Twitter, how the Music Mondays podcast came to be, and things like that. So make sure you go check that out and go show that some love if you have any more interest in the Music Mondays podcast, or if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. I'll be happy to chop it up with you about the Music Mondays podcast. You know what I mean? So with that said, let's fucking get into it, man. That's pretty much everything you need to know. All right, so let's see how many Patrons we have here tonight, and then we're going to dive into the rest of our community submissions. So I believe we have 2 Patrons here tonight. We have here the homie Jordan, right? And we have, I believe, okay, yeah, so we have the homie Jordan, and we have the homie Laveries. All right, so Jordan will be up first, and then we'll go Laveries, and then we'll dive into the rest of the community submissions. I am down. So, up first, we got the homie Jordan. Jordan has been kicking off our show for the last couple weeks, man, and I'd probably say like the last like month or so, if not longer. But it's been a pleasure because it's always a guaranteed interesting submission. Like, it's a great way to kick off the show, so it's kind of a blessing, regardless, right? So Jordan, a very, very talented alternative hip hop artist, submitted a track titled "Grow." Now, they just dropped a wonderful project. So I'd imagine that this is one of the tracks from said project. So let's go check it out, man. All right, so it is from Act Natural. So let's see. Last week, did we do Let Go? Okay, yeah, so we did Let Go. I think we did Far From It. And this week we have Grow. So this will be track 5 of a 6-track project. This will be fun, man. I'm down. Let's get into it. Jordan, Grow. Let's go.
Takes time and oxygen. I'm trying to grow, I face the sun today. I ask for rain, I find there's hope and change. I try to go through life by chasing dreams. It's not like we have any place to be. So wait for me, wait for me, wait for me. I have to see this through, so I'm gonna wait and see. Whatever life does give me, I take it thankfully, gracefully. Always hated to be the one to doubt myself, so I'm just trying to make believe. I'm finding out how slow change can be. I'm hiding while time changes me. It's all sounding good, the way that it should, and it's great to see. I wish you would, I wish you would. Just wait for
Huh. Wow. This reminded me so much of like such like early like loud stuff that it used to be like it kind of reminds me of like Spooky Black almost, or like some real old like Serenity Worthy. Um, this was great. Like especially for like a track that's later in the project, right? This is definitely something to like wind down a project, you know, and it kind of like relaxes you a bit for like the full blown outro. So I like this one. I like this one a lot. I definitely feel like this is it could be an underrated track on this, right? I mean, we've heard about half the project so far. So yeah, I gotta say, I like the placement of this one a lot. All right. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here, my friends. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Grow. Kind of an interesting theme here as well, but let's get into it, man. So let's talk instrumental. A real powerful instrumental that's very simple, right? And I think those two things are like very uncommon. This one felt very emotionally charged. It felt like one of the ones that you could really feel the emotion in. You know, and I find myself repeating that when it comes to this project in Jordan, right? And I definitely feel like they nailed the emotion aspect of everything, right? But this is definitely an instrumental to me that had a lot of emotion to it, no doubt, no doubt. Mostly the melody, but I mean, like even like the slight supporting drums, and then like Jordan's vocals just put so much more emphasis on it. Um, so yeah, the instrumental is such a big player here. Um, let's talk mix. Um, Mix is great, to be honest with you, especially again for like some of these like more softer instrumentals. You really got to make them prominent. You know, you really got to make them like do their thing and like really stretch them for what they're worth when it comes to their sound and quality, right? And I feel like Jordan did just that. I have no gripes with this one at all. Nice and loud, crisp, clean, clear, nothing clashing on it. Vocals sit nice. Everything cuts through nicely. Nothing's really like fighting for space or anything like that. So definitely no gripes with the mix here. Not really a shocker with Jordan, but this one in specific, solid mix. Definitely no gripes. Uh, hmm. Instrumental Shining Star. Um, the melody really is such a big player here. Like I said, like it's a big one for sure. Um, but I feel like structure you could really overlook. I feel like structure was really solid. Drums were up there, but drums are just like a really good support. Um, I guess for me, probably melody. To be honest with you, I definitely feel like melody here was like super fucking crucial for this one. Um, so yeah, definitely melody for sure. Instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Really great. Like really, really great. This one had a lot more like post processing, a little bit more effects on it to kind of give it that reverby angelic effect. And I feel like Jordan did a really good job with it because it's not like overly processed. It's hitting that like nice sweet spot of like really angelic melodic vocals when it comes to like this cloud alternative, um, even like somewhat of like a hip hop kind of style. I feel like it's fucking great. Um, no gripes with this mix. And like the thing with Jordan's vocals is like I feel like they don't really stick to one kind of sound. And like at the same time they do, right? Because they don't go out and like try to like deep fry their vocals every mix. It's more so that they just tune their vocals to like whatever genre or sound or style they're kind of working on, right? And I feel like this one kind of really exposed that, and you were able to kind of tell that like these were like the appropriate sounding vocals that just mesh so well with the instrumental. It just felt angelic, and that's why I kind of said that about the emotion thing because it's very much like it's complementing each other. Is really what it's doing. So for me, the vocal mix here is like a really big star in this track. Really, really big star. The vocals just sound really clean. Like I said, super angelic. A lot of the melodic parts are great. Um, yeah, no gripes with these vocals at all. I feel like Jordan like hit the mark on it. When it comes to this kind of style, this is exactly how you want it to sound. Quality wise, anyway, right? I mean, like sometimes vocal mix is like our preference, but you can't really like argue quality, right? And I feel like Jordan kind of hit all the boxes when it comes to this style, for sure. So vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. Mm, the writing was really poetic. Like it was very poetic, very honest. Um, the hook was up there too, though. Mm, trying to think. I mean, if I really had to pick, I'd say the writing, just because there was a story to be told here, and there was like something to like grasp onto as well. Um, I wouldn't say it was super subliminal or vague as to where nobody would like be able to relate to it. But I do feel like writing overall was like a big plus here for me. Um, so yeah, definitely writing for sure. Instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. For those of you that have caught the last few episodes, I've spoke about this cover a few times, but let's just run it down again just for anybody who hasn't heard my thoughts on this. Um, I love this style. You know what I mean? Like I love this style. Like I feel like this style is synonymous with Jordan and Make More Creative Junk, and that whole crew is just super um like when I think of them, I think of this style. You know what I mean? And like that's the thing there when it comes to these um types of covers. Like I really do think of this style. And that's one thing that I'll always associate them with, this it almost has this like a watercolor style, but it's also like extremely detailed as well. But this one in specific is very much project worthy. I feel like you could kind of like go the single route for this, but at the end of the day, like it's definitely a project worthy cover, especially for like a smaller, like more softer alternative kind of EP. Um, this kind of like nailed it for me. You know what I mean? Especially like the plants in the middle. Like the more you look at them, the more like details you're kind of seeing here, and it's like holy shit. You know what I mean? So it's nuts. But I think the thing that really did it for me here is the color palette too. Not too much going on when it comes to like a wide range of covers. Like you have your greens, you have your blues, you have your whites, and then you have the flowers. Like it's not trying to do too much, so it's giving off this very soft, natural, comfortable, somewhat uplifting kind of feel, right? So, very much on point when it comes down to aesthetics. Very much. So, um, okay. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme of grow. So I feel like Jordan was speaking about a couple different things here, right? I mean, like growing in life is like it's natural, right? But a lot of people are gonna have like a tough time with it if they like don't let it happen or they don't push for it. Because it's gonna happen regardless. You grow out of things, you mature, uh it's just growth, so growth happens naturally, but growth also isn't linear, right? So when you're growing, it's not this graph that's going straight up. When you're growing, it's fucking up and down, you know what I mean? And I feel like Jordan was touching on like a little bit on that feeling of like you know growing is like definitely like a part of life, but also like growing requires a lot out of you. But if you do grow, it's kind of like one of those things that you don't know what it could lead to, but also like there's also like situations where if you go and let's say grow for a bit and you come back to said situation, circumstances could also possibly be different, right? Whether it be friendships, relationships, family shit, could be anything. Um, so yeah, growth is a very like interesting feeling concept, however you want to look at it. But Jordan was kind of giving a lot of that here for me, but at the same time, it was very simple and very poetic. It was one of those songs that kind of makes you look in within yourself and be like, huh, like you're like shit, huh, like growth and this, that, and the third. Like it feels self-reflective almost, So Jordan's been doing a really good job with that in this project, so I'm definitely excited to keep diving into this one, 100%. So, with that said, huge shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Jordan on Twitter, man. They're 6 followers away from 520, so go show them some love in the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200 we're approaching 300, man. We're only 4 away. We're quite literally only 4 away from 300. So sub the channel. We upload 2 times per week. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So go show the channel these artists some love, man. And if you already have, you're over there watching the videos, dropping likes, dropping comments. Even if you're just viewing the videos, we appreciate you. Even if you're watching the shorts, man, if you're watching the YouTube shorts over there, you're a fucking legend. We've been spamming shorts over there for like a few months. All right, so huge shout out to Jordan. That was our first patron of the night, and our last patron of the night, but certainly not least, the homie Laverius. Now, Laverius has come up with a really solid concept as of recently, but for those of you that don't know, Laverius is a very talented independent hip hop artist. And they've been keeping us up to date with these somewhat like voice note memo kind of somewhat vlog, somewhat podcast kind of updates, right? And like we get to like listen to them here on the show. Because for those of you that have been around for a decent amount of time, you'll remember Laverius and their whole album rollout and them doing the kind of studio videos and like kind of recording in the background. They were coming up with a lot of really interesting concepts and like they were just really pushing the bar when it comes to like content that they like and that they like want to do. So kind like it's one of those things that like I love seeing artists like really try to push for, and I'm excited to get back into it because last week they had a very interesting update, but this week they submitted a SoundCloud track titled "A Party Song." So let's go see what Laverius is up to here, man. Let's go see, because they had quite the update for us last week. So I'm definitely excited. Oh wait, this one's only a minute 17. Okay. I'm down. All right, Laverius, "Party Song." Let's go.
So this song is a party song. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty unique. Yeah, I'm just talking my shit on this song. Talking about getting fucked up. Talking about drinking. Talking about smoking. Finna toast one. Yeah, I'm finna toast one. Yeah, to get fucked up. Yeah, I'm really just bragging and boasting on this song, talking about drinking, smoking, getting fucked up, doing drugs, but also drink responsibly and doing drugs under the influence. Yeah, it's a cool song. I like it. I got some plans for this song. I like the bridge. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's a cool song.
Damn. Okay. So with this one being so quick, it kind of begs the question. Like I'm very interested to see what this project is gonna be like, man. I'm very interested now. Because Laverius always had this like really nice like alternative hip hop style, right? They could really like go in on a pretty wide variety of instrumentals. They weren't really like a one genre kind of artist, right? But this kind of style with a more like heavier kind of guitar is very interesting. Very interesting to see. I would love to hear the final product on something like that. I would love to hear that. So what's cool about this too is like you can tell that this next project is going to be a little bit like out of the box for Leveries, which I think is great. I think that's one of those things that if you're comfortable with it, every artist should be at least pushing for every once in a while. Not like 24/7, but you know, there's comfort in being uncomfortable, right? Because eventually you're gonna get comfortable being uncomfortable. You're like, okay, like this is weird, but I can do this. You know what I mean? And like I said, it doesn't mean you got to do it like 24/7, but doing shit like this as to where it's a little bit out of your element makes you a little bit more creative sometimes. Um, and I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen here with Laveries. I mean, pretty much all the leaks that we've heard here on the show when it comes to this new project have been like very versatile, but it's all gonna be very Laveri style. Um, so I'm kind of curious now. You know what I mean? I'm very kind of intrigued as to what something like that could sound like, or like what else Laverius has planned as far as instrumentals go when it comes to this kind of style. Like it's like, damn, like okay, like how the fuck is this gonna work? I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see the outcome of this, man. Even though that was a quick one, that was a good update though. That was a good update. We need more of these. We need more of these. I like these updates. I like these updates here. Getting us hyped for the fucking album, man. Let's fucking get it. Alrighty. With that said, huge shout out to Laverius. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Laverius on SoundCloud. Well, I mean, this is kind of their sound account, but you can go follow Laverius on SoundCloud per usual as well. And of course, make sure you follow Laverius on Twitter. They are 6 followers away from 130. Make sure you go show them some love in the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200, and I keep saying 200 because I'm not used to the 300, but we're 4 subs away from 300, my friends. Make sure you go sub the channel if you haven't already, because we quite literally are uploading 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. So you guys know the drill. If you already have, thank you. With that said, that does it for all the Music Mondays Patreons of the night. Huge shout out to Jordan, huge shout out to Laverius, huge shout out to King Mark, Ryuki, and Kruger. You guys are fucking awesome. And huge shout out to everybody who's even just following the Music Mondays Patreon, even if you're not subscribed. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting us over there. But with that said, it's time to get into the community submissions. So, all right, we're gonna go from top to bottom per usual. You guys know the drill. Let's get into it. First up, we have the homie Sam's Raps. Now, Sam's has been killing it as far as their recent submissions goes, man. They've had some unreleased tracks with us. They've had some recent tracks with us. They've all been fucking crazy. They've all been absolutely fucking crazy. But this week they submitted a track titled Sam's dropped something this morning, .2.wave rough. We got a little unreleased here from the homie Sam's. I'm down. I'm definitely down. Okay. Insane cover too. I like this kind of like collage newspaper-esque kind of feel to this, but let's get into it. Sam's dropped this morning .2.wave. Let's go.
Hey everyone, it's me,
Hello, Sam.
Sam's, and my friend the Moss. We've been
Uh,
having a really good time together lately, and well, I'm just excited for you to meet him. Anyway, sup, Moss? Oh, you know. Shooting shit, kicking back, just cutting it up, chewing cut. If you ask what I'm covering up, man, I've been stuck in the mud, puffing the purest of stuff. I pick the putter up, then I'm draining the putt. Saving it up, nuts, praying a stuck bus, sprinkling the dust after dumping the blunt guts. I'm wrapping it up, yup, seal it shut, touch a lighter to the tip, then it's stuck in my lungs, yeah. Well, that sounds pretty cool.
wow.
I wanna try too. Get as high as you, float around the sky. Maybe meet a ride too. Shit is shining, dude, too bright because my eyes are blue. I would put on the shades, but I would hate to have to hide from you. Do what you gotta do. Put on the shades, then we can get it shaking in the paint just like a spray can. Meet me in the poster, better yet, pull up the J fam. I can throw a bow to break a rib at a whole cage. Damn, it's really like that. I think I like that. So competitive, of course, are at the mic. Thanks. I throw a light jab and follow with an uppercut. I'm on with the rhythm when I want, like it's double dutch. We jump around, jump up and down. We jump around, jump up and down. 1 step, 2 step, 3 line 5. On a couplet, a terce, and a quatrain 5. We jump around, jump up and down. We jump around, jump up and down. 1 step, 2 step, 3 line 5. On a couplet, a terce, and a quatrain 5.
We communicate with one another.
Wow.
And we feel that we have connected. I think we have a feeling of almost spiritual communion. And that feeling might
W sample. This was giving like a very big not like 80s like sound vibe, but it gave like an 80s feel to it, right? Like sunny day, you know, fucking nice neighborhood, kind of like it was good vibes. It was very like very specific. It's wow. I haven't had something invoke that kind of feeling of nostalgia in a little while. That one just had like a good classic feel to it. Very classic. Um, okay. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down because this one's interesting. This one's very interesting. All right. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Sam's dropped this morning. Let's talk instrumental. You know, I like the choice. You know, I really like the choice. This is definitely something like, you know, it's just one of those instrumentals you hear like 2 seconds of it and you're like, oh yeah, like I could fucking spit on that. You know what I mean? Like I could definitely kill that. And I definitely feel like it's just natural for somebody like Sam's. Like I could have totally saw them flowing on this from like a mile away. No doubt. No doubt. But it does have this like a very like again, like I don't want to use the word positive, right? Because I feel like it's a bit overblown. But it's good vibes. It has a lot of good vibes on it. Um so I like the choice regardless, nonetheless. Let's talk mix. Instrumental mix. Great, to be honest with you. Definitely no gripes. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Drums are fantastic. The sound selection on everything is great. Melody's great. Good rhythm. Nice and fast pace. It's not like doing too much. Yeah, like no gripes on this instrumental at all. Definitely no gripes on this whatsoever. Um, so instrumental makes super solid. Not really a shocker, but something I always want to point out for those of you that are new here. Um, so like I said, instrumental makes solid. Instrumental shining star. Um, you know, drums really were fucking crazy on this. I won't lie. Like drums were really fucking nuts. Um, just because it kept up the pace, it was a good rhythm, and it just keeps up the motion, right? Like drums like that are always really good. But the sound selection on it was really great too. Mm. But I do feel like the melody played a really big part in that like mood, you know? Oki doesn't miss with the instrumentals. Yeah, like they definitely killed that. They definitely killed that for sure. For sure. Melody's definitely up there, but kind of torn between drums though. I like the drums a lot for the pace. You know what I mean? Like the drums for the pace are just like really fucking solid, but I'm gonna have to go with the melody just because the melody brings that like that like uplifting energy that I was kind of describing earlier. So definitely melody, but drums are a close second for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is actually really solid on this, even though it is a rough, not really like a final track. I do like the mix on this a lot, even though it's very minimal, right? I mean, it's just kind of again like a rough. So it's not exactly 100%, but for where it's at now, I don't mind it at all. You know what I mean? Like I really don't. Like it's crisp, it's clean, it's clear, it's nice and loud. It's not really like too raw to the point where it's bothersome. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I do like about some of these roughs is like even the roughs sound pretty crisp. That's how you know when the final comes out it's like it's firm, you know what I mean? It's very much on lock. So for me, the vocal mix here is great, so anything done to this afterwards now is just like a plus, in my opinion, you know? But again, Sam's is an artist that doesn't really need a crazy kind of vocal mix. Um, they just have this natural, solid voice that, you can really push for in certain tracks, and like when it comes to this like raw kind of style, I think it works well here. So this is kind of the perfect instrumental for that as well. That's the other thing you got to think about too, is like it's gonna depend on the style, but for this one in particular, I like the vocal mix a lot. Definitely, especially with it being a rough in mind, right? Like a rough draft in mind is still like it's still crazy, So, um, so vocal mix solid for what it is. Obviously, with the rough draft in mind, vocal shining star. Hmm. I feel like Sam's was really feeling himself on this track. Like I really feel like it was like a no brainer for them to just go in on this. Especially at the start, like the monologue at the start was great. Like just led in this flow and cadence that was like very easy to like grab onto, and then you started paying attention to the writing. So there's an argument for like all of those. There's a really big argument for like any one of those being like the shining part of this track when it comes to vocals. Writing was sick, but I feel like flow and cadence really did shine here. The way it just like lifts off is like you just know you're in for something like that's like very skilled, and like you're in for like a ride for sure. It just kind of like picks up really fast, so it makes you pay attention, and you're just like, oh shit, okay, like as a listener, it makes you pay attention. That's one thing that I would definitely say is it hooks you in very quickly. So for me, definitely flow, cadence, and delivery. But I mean, like I said, you could make a debate for writing as well. Um, Writing is definitely a close second, but for me, definitely flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Um, let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Obviously a rough, right? So I mean, cover subject to change and things like that. But I've always loved these like collage styles. These are like it's funny because what's being used in this collage here is the nostalgic kind of feel that I was getting from the track from the start. It has this like old school, like fancy, like newspaper cutout kind of like uh just a very specific vintage retro kind of feel. And that's the feeling I got like instantly, and I feel like the cover definitely like reflects that now for sure. Like thinking back on it now, I'm like, oh shit. Um, so yeah, aesthetic definitely on point for sure, but everything's subject to change, right? I mean, definitely still unreleased. Overall theme, I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme here. I mean, you definitely could, right? But at the end of the day, Sam's is a fantastic writer when it comes to like pure hip hop, right? So this is an artist that you want to listen to their lyrical ability, you want to listen to their punchlines, you want to listen to their bars in general. You just want to listen to everything when it comes to um the message, right? So I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme here, but definitely one that I would like dive into the lyrical content for. And you could always spin any one of their tracks back and kind of like dive in and be like, okay, like meant this, da da da. You could always pick up on some new bars, you know what I mean? So there's a couple of things here that you could dive into, but definitely one that you got to explore for the lyrical content and definitely appreciate for the writing skill, for sure. So with that said, huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Sam's on Twitter. They are 8 followers away from 950. And make sure you go catch them on Cyberfest 2 this Saturday, September 28th, 2024. Make sure you go show them some love, baby. Let's get it. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We're literally 4 away, man. Literally 4 away. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. If you already have, thank you, my friends. Let's fucking get it. You guys drop a like, drop a comment, all that good jazz. Even if you're just watching the videos, thank you. We appreciate your Music Mondays, man. Well, let's fucking get it. We kicked off hot with the show. Kicked off fucking hot. For sure. For sure. All right. Some bangers back to back at the homie Laveri's with an update. Up next, we got the homie Lucha Libro. Now, last week they had a repeat submission, so unfortunately we couldn't get to them because we had already reacted to Sapia. I believe we reacted to Sapia in episode 190. Make sure you go check that out and go show Lucha Libro some love. But this week, they submitted another track with the homie John Space. So we got a little bit of a collab here from the homie Lucha Libro. So, a very talented alternative artist, Lucha Libro, submitted a track from. Is this a new EP? September 15th. Let's go. Oh, yeah. So, this is the one that Sapia is on. Okay. Okay. So, this is the one that Sapia is on. This is Lucha Country. That's fire. That is so fire. Okay, so I have some thoughts on the cover and all that good jazz after this, but this will be interesting. Appreciate you, homie. Glad you enjoyed it. Let's fucking get it, Sans. Much love. Thank you for your submission, my friend. Let's fucking go. Okay. Let's get into it. Lucha Libro, John Space. Let's go.
Quise hacer una FP relacionada con la parapsicología. Me dijeron que eso no puede ser, que de ese tema no había. Y cuando por fin se paró de reír, se burló.
Oh,
Y
shit.
eso puro tontería. ¿Y quién eres tú? ¿Quién eres tú? Fantasma, me fui de ahí. La verdad es que ahora me da igual. Llegaré de alguna forma. El camino lo tendré que buscar. No hay ninguna tontería, incluso más real. Mucho más auténtico y tangible que su vida social. Aprendí de los maestros, puede ser el mejor cazador. Hasta los siniestros, todo se adquiere con los ojos cerrados. Todo sin pisar otra vez en ese centro y no de ninguna biblioteca. Está lleno de leña para el incendio. No han aceptado la ley FP y eso sin usar ni una FP de yo que sé. Fantasma, fantasma, fantasma. Estoy con el departamento de investigación de la fenomenología paranormal. ¿Quién se ríe ahora? ¿Quién eres tú? Fantasma. 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 Voy con mi chubasquero anti-ectoplasma. Mi talismán anti-posesión y un puño americano para cualquier tonto que cruza esa dimensión. Fantasma. 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 Tengo toda la lente que uno puede querer, hasta ultravioleta, térmica y infrared. Oye, espectro, que yo te detecto y no tendrás donde esconder. Oye, espectro, que yo te detecto, te tengo en jaque mate. ¡Joder! Fantasma.
Damn.
Fantasma. Fantasma. Quise hacer una FP relacionada con la parapsicología. Me dijeron que eso no puede ser, que de ese tema no había. Pero ahora me da un poquito igual, que estoy investigando. El Departamento de Investigación de Fenomenología Paranormal. 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 Paranormal.
De la lucha y viva el John Space. Además.
So that was filled with a lot of passion, man. That was very like passion filled from start to finish. That just had like a crazy amount of passion, man. I like that a lot. Like Lucha Libro has such a different just a different kind of style and a different kind of spice to them, man. They really do have just like a different kind of spice to them. Very interesting. Well, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's break it down. So, we are going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of this track. So, all right. Let's talk. Let's talk instrumental. So, instrumental mix, fantastic. I mean, it's kind of on the more simple side, right? Of course, couple different melodies, not much drums, kind of like minimal effects. So it kind of does its thing when it comes down to that, but no gripes here as far as the instrumental goes. I like the mix on it, to be honest with you. Vocals sit nice, especially with the vocals being as raw as they are, and like in your face and like very like natural. I feel like the instrumental definitely still holds its own, which I think is a great thing. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of big on the instrumental mix just because it really does hold its own. You know what I mean? Vocals sit nice on top of it. Melodies cut through nicely. Everything kind of like has its own space to it, which I think is like absolutely fantastic. You know. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Um. Hmm. You know, the structure was really up there. The structure with like the placement of the melodies and like how everything kind of comes together and then drops back out and then comes back in. I feel like the structure was really up there. You know, because again, it's kind of on the more simple side of things when it comes to instrumentals. But for what it is, like I said, it definitely makes an impact. So for me, um, I'm definitely gonna have to say probably the structure. I feel like the structure is definitely up there for this one, 100%. So an instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. So this mix is very raw, right? But it's not like unnatural raw. It's not like super like super like drawn out or anything like that. Like it's like a perfect mix when it comes down to what the style is and like this kind of like indie alt punk esque kind of feel to it, right? And like I feel like you know they did a good job like achieving that style of like grittiness, but also not really like letting it you know be too raw. I feel like that's really like a big it's just a thin line, I would say. You know what I mean? It's definitely like a thin line. But the vocal mix for like what kind of style this is and like what the approach is and especially for like how like intense the instrumental is. Vocal mix is definitely solid for where it's at. Definitely solid. I like the raw grittiness of it, but I like how it's also clean and crisp and clear. You know what I mean? It's not too raw. Um so vocal mix solid. Um vocal shining star. You know, the hook has like a really good flavor to it, but I think the flow and cadence of the track overall is something that like you definitely can't ignore here. Um so for me, definitely flow and cadence and delivery. 100%, definitely flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Um so instrumental solid, definitely structure, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Um let's talk theme. So, this is Lucha Country. Let's talk about it because these aesthetics are something special. Um, you know, I've said this since like day one, right? Um, you know, these covers are very consistent when it comes to Lucha Libre and like how they kind of do all of their projects, right? And I think that's it just speaks volumes and it makes them all look so consistent and it looks just really well done, like really fucking well done. Even their own playlists, right? Like they're just kind of like making them so unique and like theirs, you know. And I just love artists who care about their aesthetic like that. And I think Lucha Libre absolutely does. Like, no fucking question, for sure. Um, so with that said, this one in specific, kind of using like the old throwback kid pictures mixed with this, newer, fresher style, and it's got the text at the top, more text at the bottom left. Like, I feel like it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely perfect. So for an EP, for a project, 100% nailed it. 100% nailed it. Aesthetic's absolutely on point. Overall theme, I mean, with me not speaking the native language, it's definitely hard for me to like break down the theme. But I do feel like Lucha had a lot of passion here, and that's why I said flow, cadence, and delivery, because it was just so filled with passion, and like you could tell like this was one of those tracks that they really, really like pushed for and like really laid it all out on the table, like really, really put their emotions out in front, and I think they did a really, really good job with it. A really good job. So with that said, huge shout out to Lucha Libre. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Lucha Libre on Twitter. They are 2 followers away from 190. So go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Money channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and show them some love, baby. Let's get it. Let's fucking go, man. Everybody's killing it tonight. That was a very interesting track from the homie Lucha, man. Very, very interesting track. Okay. Alright. Alright, we left off with the homie Lucha Libre. Up next is the homie Sin, aka Survival in Negativity. Now, this is an artist who's super, super fucking talented. Has just such an amazing library, and we've been reacting to them here on the show for quite some time, man. Quite some time, and it's been such a pleasure to kind of dive into their library when it comes to the newer tracks, the older tracks, a lot of the like exclusive unheard of tracks. We've definitely dove into some Sin, man. We've definitely dove in. So, with that said, this week Sin submitted a track titled Medicine Series 1 by the homies over at Rally for Reality. Well, let's get into it. We always love some Rally, man. Alright, let's pop this open a new tab. See what we got here. Medicine from the Medicine Series 1 off of the Vault Mixtape Part 2 from Rally for Reality. So let's get into it. Vibes. Great intro.
It goes 1 for the money, no, 2 for the lack of it. Matter of fact, give me 3 just for completion, no compassionate generosity. Guess my modesty is speaking volumes about my honesty, hiding confidence in leaky costumes, tearing at the seams when everyone's around. But I managed to stick it up when I notice it's down to 1 for now. When I'm alone, I clear the playground. Don't want anybody getting kicked when I see my mood swingers coming down. But yo, this park is so vast, nobody seems to notice. Busy focusing on their own opuses, trying to hold their own on monkey bars. Spiral slide to their own hopelessness and jump rope and breaking points life is posing us with. So when I look at my swing and see my rusty chains breaking, losing metal by the moment in decay, and I'll be thinking, yo, if I fall, then fall me. And these wood chips are gonna sting, but they'll be better than falling on concrete.
Heads crashing in my bed, mad, laying in my shelter, feeling safe inside my slumber. Security's a cover, hoping people don't discover that the path I took in the past is different from the present. The past is strapping my ass, I'm stuck inside a prison. Visions holding the bars to show me how I'm living. My ambition don't need a mention, it's kinda missing. This prison sentence won't end until these shackles in my head set me free from the peace that's in my bed. Laying scared in the fetal position, I had a mission, always losing in my youth. Made me used to always quit and leave the air conditioner on. I hate it when it's warm, only really comfortable enough for showing my arms. I'd rather call than to send you a text. I always got more to say and to get off my chest. What's wrong with that? Yet I'm more cautious, ignoring nonsense. Got more confidence in music and my common sense. I stay passionate, happy with every adjective. Magic is in the music, and music is really heaven sent. Life saving is evidence. Sound lyrical medicine relevant. Can save a man spitting lyrical
Wow.
testament. So I invest in the sound. It fix my confidence to rise every time that you down. Music is medicine.
They both really killed that. Flow and cadence was fucking crazy here. Great outro. I mean, what's not to like there? Fantastic. Well fucking done. I like that a lot. Wow. That was like a very comfortable kind of track as well. Like, that was very, very comfortable. Damn. Alright, let's break it down, let's get into it, let's talk about it, man. Let's dive in. So, alright. We're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Medicine. So, referring back to the description here, from our second compilation, The Vault Mixtape Part 2, a collection of old looses over intro beats recorded between 2006 and 2012. This one is Over God's Bathroom Floor by Atmosphere. So, that was a great choice in instrumental. I mean, that was just like so comfy and so like just nothing but vibes. You know what I mean? Like kick back, smoke, relax. Like some shit you put on at like 2, 3 a.m. if you want to just chill out, for sure. So that was great. That was fucking great. All right. Like I said, we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental. We'll talk about vocals. We'll talk about the overall theme of Medicine. So, instrumental. The instrumental mix, man. I mean, they are industry beats, right? But you know, kind of remixing songs always like leaves a very interesting kind of space for, quite frankly, mess ups, right? Like you could fuck up a song just based off a little bit of a wrong mix, you know. But when it comes to this and this instrumental, fantastic. One, like I said, I like the choice, but for two, the mix is solid. I mean, re-recording over like a pre-made instrumental is already, you know, pretty simple enough, right? But sometimes it can get a little weird. And this track in particular definitely does a good job kind of blending everything together, which I think is fantastic. So, with that said, instrumental mix is solid. Nothing clashy to overbearing. Nothing that I would like ultimately change about this at all. Levels are great. Crisp, clean, clear. Both members of Rally sound great. So, definitely no gripes here at all. All right. So, instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. You know, drums were up there, but the melody brings like a big mood. The melody is like a big, like, it just sets the mood, and it feels like a nighttime jazz hip hop esque kind of feel to it. So for me, definitely the melody. No doubt the melody. But the drums are a close second, but definitely the melody. Instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is fantastic. You know, not really a shocker. You know, for anybody who's new here, you always want to point it out. But you know, Sin has always had a very consistent vocal mix when it comes down to pretty much all of their tracks, right? Even some of the more earlier tracks, um, you know, even those have like such a consistent vocal mix and are always like super, super fucking solid. That's one thing I really like is just like the consistency is crazy, but they have a very consistent vocal mix, and this track is definitely no different. But again, not really shocked. Not really surprised, but something I always want to point out for anybody who's new here, right? But vocal mix very solid. Vocal shining star definitely flow and cadence and delivery. I mean, um, writing was a close second, but the flow and cadence and delivery here was like it once again like really like made you pay attention, like really fucking made you pay attention, and it was like very relaxing at the same time. Like that's the thing, like it's got you locked in, right? But it's also a very chill, relaxing kind of track. So that's why it's like fuck, like gotta be flow and cadence and delivery, gotta be for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme aesthetics. So I've spoke a little bit about the Vault mixtape part 2 cover and the Vault mixtape part 1 as well. And I've been a big fan of these ever since I saw this cover. You know, track list in the front, title and whatnot at the top, and then a little bit more text down at the bottom for the producers. Atmosphere, MF Doom, etc., etc. And then of course you have the massive vault with the gold and everything. Like I just thought like the whole concept was fantastic. So aesthetics are forever going to be on point for me when it comes to that cover. I've spoke a bit about it before, but definitely always want to mention that for sure. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme of medicine. So I wouldn't say that there's like a crazy intricate kind of theme. I mean, they're definitely both speaking on different forms of medicine in life and like how you kind of heal yourself in certain situations and you know try to continue yourself to let yourself grow, right? And to try to really push to be like somewhat of a better person, definitely like always a better person, but to just kind of like heal yourself as well. You know what I mean? Like becoming a better person happens after you heal, you know? So when it comes to medicine and the medicines of life, not even really like pharmaceutical medicine, it's a very interesting concept, and I feel like both of these two do a really good job kind of pushing that idea, and like I just feel like they have a great dynamic on this one when it comes down to like relatability for almost any listener. I feel like anybody can hear a few of these lines and be like, damn, like you could definitely relate to this. You know what I mean? Especially with it being what track 12. Yeah, so track 12 is actually fucking nuts. You know, like imagine like this being the second to last track on the first listen and you're just like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like this was one where it was just like, damn, like absolutely fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like absolutely fucking crazy. Um so with that said, I mean, you can definitely get some lighter themes out of this. Because you can definitely relate to a lot of like the medicine aspects too. But with that said, this is definitely one where you got to appreciate the writing aspects of this and definitely appreciate the lyrical ability of both members of Rally for Reality here on this track. So with that said, huge shout out to Sin. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Rally for Reality on Bandcamp, and of course, make sure you go follow Sin on Twitter. They are 7 followers away from 510. So make sure you go show them some love in the bird out, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode, and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200, we're approaching 300, man. 300, we're on the way. We're only like 4 away, man. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love, man. And like I said, we upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good jazz over there. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's go. So, all right. With that said, we're about halfway through the show. So, with that said, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. So I'm gonna need everyone to get up, go get a drink, go get a snack, go walk the dog, Go get a bathroom break. Go get a cig. Go do whatever you need to do, my friends. And when we return, the Music Mondays podcast, episode 192, we'll get right back into reactions and reviews. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 192. Hope we all had a good break, but let's get back into it. So, we left off with the homie Sin. And we got Ree in the chat. Ree, motherfucking cola. Let's get it, baby. Welcome on in, Ree. Happy Monday. Alright, so like I said, we left off with the homie Sin. Up next is the homie on Luca. Now, man, Onwuka has been on a straight roll, if I do say so myself. We've been diving into a lot of their earlier kind of work when it comes to 2020, 2021-ish. And we have another track here from the homie. So, a very, very talented alternative hip-hop artist Onwuka submitted a track titled Even Keeled. Another Kronwuka classic, Even Keeled, classic Kronwuka flow, all about how folk think I got a demeanor, yet they don't. Kronwuka's goes and do dope-ish. My rap mode where it's ball of stunt rap bass. Shit. Okay. Let's get into it. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. Even Keeled. Let's go.
You know, I always feel bad when cats trying to show me the raps they like. So I start listening for a bit and I'm like, dog, man, these fools, they don't even kill. So I don't really know what the point is. But I'm gonna show you how we do it. And it's pretty killer.
Okay.
They say you always look chill and even keel. Scoping these rooks and for real, they don't even kill. Well, I'm so sick, every day I wake up feeling ill. Trying to hook up with a dreamy, creamy, thick chick with some gleaming heels. They say you always look chill and even keel. Scoping these rooks and for real, they don't even kill. Well, I'm so sick, every day I wake up feeling ill. Trying to hook up with a dreamy, creamy, thick chick with some gleaming heels. Yeah, some gleaming heels, that's how this heathen feels. My music makes you stay up, others be some sleeping pills. Not jamming, funkin', but Wuka makes it look like an easy drill. Everything going in like I got the streaky feel. Pulling up Rick slickly like I've got greasy wheels. I wanna peep a little thing with some freaky skills. Us on the beach, my face down, while the bikini peeled off. I crush with my speech like when Godzilla breathes and spill. Atomic when I'm on it, get it poppin' like the Hulk doing a thunderclap next to some bubble wrap. This numbskull is a lustful for a numbskull from a glowing chick and gleaming heels. Potent spits them and I can't coexist, I've got plenty kills. They say you always look chill and even keel. Scoping these rooks and for real, they don't even kill. Well, I'm so sick, every day I wake up feeling ill. Trying to hook up with a dreamy, creamy, thick chick with some gleaming heels. They say you always look chill and even keel. Scoping these rooks and for real, they don't even kill. Well, I'm so sick, every day I wake up feeling ill. Trying to hook up with a dreamy, creamy, thick chick with some gleaming heels. I'm trying to rubber mold a lamp where a genie sealed. I'm smoother than a ramp, so tall looks like I'm a mini steel. Other players are major, get traded like Kenny Steals. Not hating, saying things up when I'm sipping some Henny chill. They lame and flow so basic, rap's cheaper than a Denny's meal. Mine get cooler than a frozen lake at next to a windy hill. They tell me to slow the brakes, but I can't just be sitting still. Broke your face, bopping your head to my tunes, go and give me the beer. Engulfing K-Cop and bread like Panera, giving me a deal. My words make scenes go to and fro, like a stream in reels. Observe how my groove flows, to keep with me you'll be needing gills. Man, I swear, bro, the tracks I tear up got the beat screaming shrill. I've got a need to feel, could try to prove it with paper like a receipt. A wheel, but Kron, a Wuka player, need to proceed and kill. They be like, can he kill? It's going down just like a panties bill. Impervious, I don't need to grab a shield. Straight Catania guild, take over, but still need to grab some skrill. Wanna eat more than a whale, that snacks on krill. They can't match my build, I'm even killed, but y'all don't even kill. They say you always look chill and even kill. Scoping these rooks and for real, they don't even kill. Well, I'm so sick, every day I wake up feeling ill. Trying to hook up with a dreamy, creamy, thick chick with some gleaming heels. They say you always look chill and even kill. Scoping these rooks and for real, they don't even kill. Well, I'm so sick, every day I wake up feeling ill. So ill, I see your whole team affiliate from the field. And now you've seen how I'm so even keeled. So next time they try and bump some rap but they don't be killing the blows, you go ahead and tell them poppin' some Chromewooka classics, cause we stay killing.
Bitch. Okay. So I get it. I see the vision here. I like it's more of like a statement, right? It's very much like a statement, and I think Onwuka did a really good job with that. You know, kind of like making a statement, but also like I feel like they didn't need to go out of their element at all. Like it definitely still feels like an Onwuka track. You know what I mean? It definitely has like a different flavor to it, but at its core, it's still Onwuka. You know, so that's what's like very important about this. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down, get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix is fantastic. I mean, this is one of the more crispier instrumentals as far as like actual mix goes, but at the same time it's definitely one of the more simple instrumentals, right? It definitely has that like you know, a minimalistic aspect to it, but it's still filling in the gaps as well. So I like the choice, but at the same time the mix itself is great. Nothing clashing too overbearing, nothing that I thought was like really off-putting or anything like that. I definitely feel like this really kind of hit every box when it comes to what Onwuka wanted to do here, for sure. So instrumental mix definitely solid, for sure. Even the sound selection as well, definitely. Instrumental Shining Star. I mean, melody's up there. Melody's definitely up there, right? But I think at the same time, drums are like a very important player here. Like a very, very important player. And drums definitely kind of took the cake home for me as far as like a little bit more aggressiveness and a little bit more grittiness, and kind of gave it that like extra attitude that it really needed. Because the melody does a great job with that, but the drums really like make a statement. So for me, definitely the drums, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, fantastic. I mean, again, Onwuka is one of those artists where pretty much every single track we've reacted to from them here on the show has been fantastic when it comes to their vocal mix. No gripes like whatsoever. You know, this is an artist that has a really solid natural voice. Again, for those of you that don't know, so they don't really need like a crazy amount of post processing or a crazy amount of cleanup, right? As long as they are actually cleaned up and you know they're crisp, clean, clear, nice and solid. So I really feel like you know Onwuka has a really good idea of like what they want their vocals to sound like all the time. You know what I mean? No matter what style of track they're doing. So these vocals kind of fall in line with that for me as well. So vocal mix definitely fantastic. No gripes at all there. Definitely hit the spot. So all right. So vocal mix was solid. Vocal Shining Star. Hmm. You know, flow and cadence is up there, right? I mean, I think flow and cadence is like, you know, comes to mind first for me. But writing too, I feel like writing is definitely up there. Mm, you know, probably flow and cadence and delivery. Like the flow and cadence and delivery throughout the whole track is just really nuts. Like really, really fucking nuts. I feel like the hook is up there too, but flow and cadence and delivery kind of like seal the deal here as far as like, you know, actually making a statement. You know, I feel like flow and cadence and delivery, like, no pun intended, actually delivered. You know, so for me, flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Writing definitely a close second though. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. I spoke a little bit about this cover previously, but I've been a big fan of this cover ever since the first track we reacted to. You know what I mean? Simple, straight to the point, aesthetically pleasing. I love the foreground. The text on is great. Young Wooker character is great. I mean, like, no real gripes with this at all. Feels like a project cover as well. High quality. Like, not much you can kind of critique about this. It's definitely hitting that like classic album feel to it, but it's also kind of you know, pleasing to the eye, but again hitting all the boxes. You know what I mean? So it's bringing up a lot of like good feels and a lot of like almost like a summer kind of feel. You know what I mean? As simple as it is, it definitely has that like summer feel to it, but at the end of the day, it definitely has that project feel for sure. So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, I mean, I think Onwuka did a really good job kind of diving into the theme here. I mean, all about how folk think I got a chill demeanor, yet they don't know Kronwicker's whole goal is to merc flows and do dope shit. Right? So the thing is here is like I feel like Onwuka really like hit all the boxes when it comes to making a statement but also making a song. Right? I definitely feel like they made a statement while also making a full track. Like they didn't just like pick a beat and start dissing. They actually like wrote out a full song. So I feel like songwriting and like lyricism here definitely has to be like recognized and can't be like understated at all. Because Onwuka definitely like wrote a full song to this and like actually had like a process that they went through to like actually get this to where they wanted it to be, right? So I feel like their theme was very clear cut and like dry here, but also like they did a really good job with it because like I said, it wasn't just like a random diss or like like a bunch of like bars. It was definitely like a full well constructed track. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. So with that said, huge shout out to Onwuka. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Onwuka on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Onwuka on Twitter. They are 6 followers away from 790, so go show them some love. And the bird at, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. I see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. So, we appreciate your support here at Music Mondays. Well, let's fucking go. So, boy, oh boy. All right. So what we left off with the homie Onwuka. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious. A new season is here. That it is, my friend. That it is. So, let's see here. All right. Now, for those of you that don't know, Offspring, a multi-talented underground artist, everything from a music producer to a video editor to a designer, a writer. Offspring kind of hits all the boxes when it comes to being multi-talented. And this week they submitted a brand new YouTube upload titled "A New Season Awaits Us." That it does. Yesterday was the first full day of fall in the States. So very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so it's cranked this up 720. Get a little full volume in here. I already like the look of this thumbnail. This is crazy. 3 days ago, new season awaits us. If you're reading this message, it's too late. Just kidding. But yes, welcome to season dawn. We have received messages asking if we're planning dawn season. Well, the answers, look at my video before you leave. If you're send you messages even later. Facts. Offspring is spitting. All right, let's get into it. Offspring is serious. A new season awaits. September 20th. That was this past Friday. Huh. Yeah. Oh shit. That was crazy. You gotta run that back. Thumbnail is crazy. Spiritual Ritual Season 2. Okay, so that's nuts. That's nuts. All right, so this was a pretty big lead up here for Offspring, I won't lie. This is a pretty big lead up. I like it though. I like it. Like, see, now I'm kind of interested as to what comes after this now though. You know what I mean? Because we had the whole like chase sequence in the last 2 weeks and we didn't know what was going to happen and it was this back and forth and now I'm intrigued. Now I'm intrigued because now we have season 2 on the way. October 4th. What? So the video said 2 weeks. So yeah, that was 2 weeks from Friday, literally. So this Friday it'll be 1 week. Very interesting. I wonder how this is gonna go. This is still like a really well done trailer though. Because it seemed like more of like a celebration than it did like very much like story filled yet. Because the last two were like very interesting, and then this one's definitely more of like a major announcement. I like the way the Offspring kind of did that. And it seems like they have this planned pretty far ahead, so I'm definitely excited to see what we have going on here with our homie Offspring. Let's fucking get it, man. Well done. Well done. Shining Star here. Probably the editing. I feel like Offspring definitely went in on this editing, like especially like in the middle towards like the 9 cam shot here. This one. of like the 9 cams, that one right there. I feel like that one's like a really good addition. So a lot of the post processing and a lot of the editing was really well done. Definitely a Shining Star. I like the concept as well. But the way that Offspring kind of went in and like really rehauled this was really nice. So, well done, my friend. I'm definitely excited to see where this goes, baby. Get it. So with that said, huge shout out to Offspring Mysterious. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to Offspring Mysterious for their latest uploads. They're 8 subs away from 230. Go show them some love on the tube, man. And of course, make sure you go show Offspring Mysterious some love on Twitter. They are 9 followers away from 930, so go show them some love and the bird out, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300, man. We are 4 subs away from 300, so make sure you go sub to the main channel. Go show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. Favorite music Mondays, my friends. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. Let's see here. Okay, so up next would be the homie Jordan, but Jordan is actually a Music Mondays Patreon. So we reacted to their submission first thing in the show. So make sure you go check out Jordan's submission. Make sure you watch the beginning of the show. Make sure you go show Jordan some love, baby. So after Jordan would be the homie Mac 2 times. Okay. So, Mac has been killing it with some of their recent submissions, right? Every time we do get a Mac submission here on the show, it's been like a very like insane improvement from the homie Mac. So definitely excited to see what Mac's got going on this week. But Mac 2 times, a very talented hip hop artist, submitted a track titled Carefree. All right. Let's see. 6 days ago, so super new. Let's get into it. Mac 2 times, Carefree. Let's go.
Told her be careful with my heart, don't treat it like it's carefree. She ain't listen, now I got to be lonely. Should've gave me hers, that's the least she could do. After all, deep down, you know that you owe me. To this day, don't know why you were so controlling. Stay looking at my line, need you to phone me. We together forever, yeah, that's what she told me. At least just Swizz is what we could both be. Careful with my heart, don't treat it like it's carefree. She ain't listen, now I got to be lonely. Should've gave me hers, that's the least she could do. After all, deep down, you know that you owe me. To this day, don't know why you were so controlling. Stay looking at my line, need you to phone me. We together forever, yeah, that's what she told me. At least just Swizz is what we could both be. I wish I could tell you this a dream. But I told myself too many times, feeling like a bad kid, how I might lie. Repeating over and over that I'ma be fine. I need real love, I don't want shorts like the fake kind. Don't know how you ended up not being mine. Ain't doing nothing wrong, so I kept asking why. I'm the one put the effort in, you ain't even try. Tryna get shorty out my head, so I'm finna smoke again. Should've listened to my brother when the nigga told me that the shit ain't even gon' last. He saw the problems, but somehow I didn't even know I was headed down a path. I was just way too focused on the heartbreak that I had back in the past. I told her I could prove to you that I'm better. You just gotta give me a chance. She ain't look my way, not even a glance. Looking back now, I could've fucked on your friend. Fuck all of that, I need to get to the stack. So I can flex on this bitch in the mirror the pants. When I blow up, don't be calling me back. It's fuck you all the way into the end. Told her be careful with my heart, don't treat it like it's carefree. She ain't listen, now I got to be lonely. Should've gave me hers, that's the least she could do. After all, deep down, you know that you owe me. To this day, don't know why you were so controlling. Stay looking at my line, need you to phone me. We together forever, yeah, that's what she told me. At least just Swizz is what we could both be. Careful with my heart, don't treat it like it's carefree. She ain't listen, now I got to be lonely. Should've gave me hers, that's the least she could do. After all, deep down, you know that you owe me. To this day, don't know why you were so controlling. Stay looking at my line, need you to phone me. We together forever, yeah, that's what she told me. At least just Swizz is what we could both be.
Let's go, man. Well done. Absolutely well done. So this was great. Like this kind of took me back to like the older Mac 2 times, except with like just such a insanely higher quality and just like more mature and all the above, man. Like truly all the above. So let's break this down. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Carefree. So instrumental. I mean, I love the choice. I mean, at this point, Mac 2 times definitely knows what kind of instrumentals they are going for when it comes to certain visions and what they're gonna sound good on and things like that. Like Mac really does have like a good ear for, the sound that they want to achieve, right? And I like the choice. Definitely like the choice. It's very Mac 2 times kind of feeling. Instrumental mix. I mean, really solid. I mean, definitely no gripes here. I mean, the drums are great. Sound selection's great. Vocals sit nice. Drums cut through nicely. I mean, definitely no gripes here, especially the instrumental alone. Definitely not. Again, sound selection's like a really big, a big thing here. So, sound selection super solid. Nothing that I would really change, to be honest with you. So, instrumental mix definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably. You know, I kind of want to say drums, but the melody's definitely up there. But I do kind of want to say drums. Uh, hmm. You know, probably the drums. I mean, the melody definitely brings the emotion, right? But I feel like the drums here are like really bringing the grit and the muscle and kind of like making this like that much more serious as well. I definitely think it's like bringing out like a more serious point. Um, so yeah, for me, definitely the drums, but the melody's like a close second. I like the structure too. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great. Mac has been really on point when it comes to their vocal mix. They've improved their vocal mix over the course of the last like 2 to 3 years, man. Um, you know, it's 2024 now. I think when we first reacted to Mac, it was like 2022, 2023 ish. So like over the last like year or so, man, like they've really like doubled down and really improved their vocals. Like really improved them. So vocal mix here is great. Definitely no gripes. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice. Nothing that I would ultimately change here either, to be honest with you. Especially with like how Mac is delivering their vocals and how they're recording. Like, yeah, man. No gripes here, if I'm being completely honest with you. Definitely no gripes at all. So vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. I kind of want to go with writing. I feel like this was really well written. There was, you know, storytelling, there was punchlines, there was, you know, more serious bars, there was more like feel good bars, there was more uplifting bars. You know, for me, probably writing if I'm being 100% honest with you. Gotta be writing. Flow and cadence and delivery is definitely up there, but writing for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. I mean, it's got that Mac 2 times feel to it, which I'm always like I've just always been a fan of, right? But it's got this like Tumblr MySpace feel to it as well, like MSN, old school like AOL kind of like old school web kind of feel to it. It's like it's really crazy if I'm being honest with you. I like the direction of this one. It feels very natural, but very like old school as well. Like it's a very interesting kind of direction, but I like it a lot. So aesthetics definitely on point, and definitely has that Mac 2 times kind of feel to it as well. So cover's great. Overall theme carefree. I mean, you know, having tough relationships is always going to be something that's like forever damaging, depending on like your situation, right? Because everybody's different. Um, you know, it sucks that you got to learn a lot of lessons to like become a better person through like something so shitty. But Mag Two Times is like one of those artists who uh really kind of goes above and beyond to like put that out on the table and get a lot of shit off their chest in like a good um you know, natural kind of way. And it's just one of those things, man, where you know, sometimes certain aspects of heartbreak and relationships and emotions need to be spoken about, I guess you could say, and like really need to be talked about when it even comes to just yourself. You know what I mean? So like really laying all that out there, but also like looking at like the other side of it too, like looking at the uplifting parts, the future, and kind of like pushing forward, right? I just think ultimately all those things are super important, and I feel like Mac Two Times did a really good job, kind of putting out all that on the table, but also, you know, thinking ahead, right, and thinking about the future, and thinking about like, because it is from like a past perspective. Like it's about looking at the past, but you know, still being affected by the past, which I mean everybody can relate to, right? One way or another. So I feel like Mac does a really good job, kind of putting out like relatable tracks, but also like getting a lot of shit off their own chest. So it doesn't even really matter if people relate to it or not, because they're still accomplishing their goal as an artist. So I think it's a win-win. But so with that said, huge shout out to Mac Two Times. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Mac Two Times on SoundCloud. They're 7 followers away from 30. And make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're 8 followers away from 180. So go show them some love over there in the bird at my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200 and... Or no, we're approaching 300. Okay, 300 motherfucking subscribers. Of course, we upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's fucking go. So, we left off with the Homie Mac 2 times. Up next is actually a first-time submitting artist by the name of Bad Valentines. Debut single Maria is out now. Debut single. Hi, greetings from Helensky. The song's called Maria, is our debut single. It's our first release from our upcoming EP, Memory Tattoos. Cheers. I'm down, Bad Valentines. I am down. Go check this out. Alright. Give it a quick pause. 720. Huh. Lyrics and description. Credits. Excellent, excellent. Interesting. Engagement reduction, quality, awesome track. Lots of love in the comments. I love that. Okay, first time submitting artist. Bad Valentines, Maria. Let's get into it. Wow. The hook is great. Oh. Wow, what the fuck? Holy shit. What the fuck? Okay, dude. Okay. Okay. So, debut single is fucking crazy. That is like a very veteran sounding crew. Like that was very, very impressive. Like very impressive. The comments were definitely not lying at all. Thanks. I'm also Maria. Like wow. Okay. Lots to talk about here because this was something, man. This was fucking something. Well done. That's an impressive first time submission. Like, fuck me. All right, let's get into it. We're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. We're talking about the music video actually for Maria, because I think that's totally noteworthy. All right, so let's talk instrumental. I mean, the instrumental, man. Do I even like? Are we serious? The instrumental is beautiful. Like the instrumental is perfectly mixed, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sound great. All the melodies are great. The drums are great. I mean, there is not one gripe with this instrumental that I could even be petty about. Like there is no gripes here at all. Um, there really isn't. This is a perfect mix. Like the mix is 100% great. Um, so the mix is just 10 out of 10 for me. Like it's just a perfectly on point mix. For the instrumental. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, I like the melodies a lot, but structure is like a big player here. I feel like structure is a very, very important part of this. It comes in when it's supposed to, it drops out when it's supposed to, it everything's like placed strategically. Structure is like fantastic here. So instrumental structure, 100%, 100%. But melodies are a close second for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Let's talk vocals. Um, Fantastic. I mean, the lead singer here has like a insane voice, especially for this kind of style. Like they really go above and beyond. Like really, really go above and beyond. Like their voice is like perfect for tracks like this. You know what I mean? I'm sure other styles and whatnot as well. But for what we have here in front of us, this was great. Um, you know, raw, very natural, very much like the like heavier style of rock that you would want. You know what I mean? And really like on the alternative side of things, kind of blending like a few styles. And you know, you really don't want to mix there that will like kind of take away from, you know, the natural parts of an artist's voice, right? And this is one where like all the natural parts are shining and it's just so crisp. You know what I mean? Like super fucking crisp. I mean, you can hear it in the hook. Like the hook kind of like really says it all. If you really like pay attention, like the hook is just fucking crazy. So vocal mix very much on point. Very much on point. Perfect vocal mix. Um Vocal Shining Star, I mean flow and cadence and delivery was great. Writing was great. But I think it's a clear winner for the hook. The hook is catchy. The hook is hard. The hook is like very much like get up and go. It's like it makes you want to move. Like the hook is great. The hook is fucking great. So yeah, for me the hook clears, but writing and flow and cadence are a good second for sure. Instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk about the music video here. So the Maria music video is great for a couple of reasons, because it's shot in only one location, right? But they mixed in a lot of war footage here, which obviously the song being somewhat of like a war kind of story almost, if you will, right? They use a lot of like insane clips, which I thought was like a great addition. But also the majority of the video is also, you know, in this kind of show setting as to where they're performing a show and they could like they're literally like getting a music video and performing a show, like doing it all at once. quite literally right then and there. So it's like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, this is one where it was like the best of both worlds, because like the visual parts and the war clips kind of explain the deeper meaning here, and then the show footage shows like the intensity and like how serious it is and how well they kind of push this. And it's like, damn, like they really go above and beyond, and I think they did a really good job with this video, especially like everybody on camera. Like nobody's like stiff on camera, or nobody's kind of like nervous around camera. Like everybody kind of looks comfortable and everybody's chill. That's what I really like about this one too, is like they're very much in their habitat and like in their environment, and they're natural and they're having a good time. And it's just one of those things where you can just tell that it's like it's just too natural for them, you know what I mean? And they just look good on camera, you know, like they just look very comfortable on camera, and they look like they're all enjoying themselves. That's what I really like about this video, you know what I mean? And then the whole black and white aesthetic was just really like a good cherry on top, you know, like that aesthetic was great. So and just the editing in general, especially more towards the end and the outro, fantastic. I mean, this is a great package for a debut single, man. Great package. Well done, my friends. Well done. Insane first time submission as well. So with that said, huge shout out to A Bad Valentines. Make sure you go subscribe to them, as Music Mondays just did. They're 8 subs now away from 60 subscribers on YouTube. So go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Bad Valentines on Twitter. They're 2 followers away from 260. So go show them some love over there in the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200, we're approaching 300. I keep saying that, but until we hit 300, I probably will keep saying it. But make sure you go sub to the channel, man. We are 4 subs away from 300. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. And of course, if you already have, thank you for showing love to the Music Money platform. See you dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good, amazing. Thank you. We appreciate you. So up next is the homie Bloodcat. So we got a little unreleased here from the homie BCat, man, titled Wonderbucks. So for those of you who don't know, Bloodcat, a very talented hip hop artist, has allowed us to premiere some unreleased. So let's go open this drive link and make sure no emails or anything pop up here. Load up this file, make sure we're good to go. Okay, we're good to go. All right, let's play it. Unreleased Bloodcat, Wonderbucks. Well, let's get into it. Took a sec.
Who I the who's the cat? Who I know who the cat? Who I the who the cat? I look at this. I bought him for the bitch. I blocked for that. I bought it for a team. My nurse don't go no bitch. My head go purple fish. Your best friend purple fish. Go out in every six. Go watching every bitch. Go watching every guy. Go buy with every bitch. Go buy fuck that bitch. Go hardly fuck that bitch. 6 niggas in the elevator. You flexing birthday money. Get your ass up. She throwing birthday cake. She blowing me out, okay? I carry candy rolling. I barely back the Trojan. I can't focus. No 40s, no locus. No doors, no roof, focus. Red, white, no blue components. She got vacation notice. I got vacation bonus. She doing a cake notice. It's for the program bonus. Who's good, what's stolen? Who owns this blood? I figure. Like what she wants, they 6 hours. I figure 6 hours, my bone, 8 bones, my head, your hoes, my lip, 8 throws, they glitter, undercut, 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 wonderfuck, what the fuck is up? Wanna what? Boy, fuck it up. I back it, Mackie in the mattress, mash, flip it like a gadget, flash, daughter, dash, She said the code was too important, I was on the side. Look at my code, it's too important. CCS, I died. Smoking sticky like it's Northern Blicky, bloated on. But I know that you sent me burner by design. My fist, my design, the fit. Try poker face, shit, look, skinny, pop, kick, go fish, the fries, go sit. My side, you know, like I know I ain't done. And go sit, no home, go fish, my pole, go sit, my pole, no noise, off road, of course, no shows, of course, no nose, divorce, 3 girls, my horse.
Damn, bro. This is one of those ones that's gonna sound crazy with a mix, bro. Definitely gonna sound fucking crazy with a mix, man. Damn. I love the instrumental choice as well. The instrumental right out there. I like it. Well done. I mean, like, you know, like we always discuss with Bloodcat, you know, with them not being able to have like a proper mix done, you know, their vocals is you know, good as they're gonna get, right? And I think this is definitely up there for one of the tracks that when they are able to get the mix, man, they definitely got to get fucking mixed because this was crazy. Like, I mean, the flow and cadence alone is great, but the instrumental choice is great. It's all around like such a great vision that Bloodcat has here. So, let's break it down. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So, we're talking about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Wonder Bucks. So, instrumental. I mean, you know, the choice itself is great. I like the choice off rip 100%. But the instrumental mix is like really, really fucking A1. Like really, really A1. Definitely like right at that nice like nice and muddy gritty point, but not too muddy and not like too over the top, you know what I mean? I think it's sitting at like a perfect a perfect spot for sure. Crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point. Drums are great, sound selection's great. Yeah, definitely no gripes with the instrumental. Definitely no gripes at all. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star, definitely the drums. I like the melody for sure. The melody definitely has a stark space like feel to it. But the drums are definitely up there. I mean, the 808's great, sound selection's great. You know, the patterns are great. Everything's really well done when it comes to the drums. So for me, absolutely the drums, no question. No question. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. I mean, obviously the vocal mix is what it is for how Bloodcat can record at the moment, right? Obviously it's not peak Bloodcat vocals, but it's definitely still something, right? Like and like the fact that they're laying out this vision and these ideas is just like it's fantastic because they're gonna be sitting on like 8 albums by the time they get out, so or I guess like are able to record. So it's one of those things as to where it's like, you know, like for what it is, it's solid. You know what I mean? Like you can get the vision down and kind of like see where Bloodcat's going with this one. So the vocal mix is nice for where it's at, right? Vocal shining star, you know, probably the flow and cadence and delivery. I think the flow and cadence and delivery has like a massive potential when it comes to the mix and like how that's gonna sound when it's 100% is fucking nuts. So for me, definitely flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely flow, cadence, and delivery. Stock theme. Aesthetics, obviously unreleased, so no cover to kind of dive into when it comes to aesthetics. But when it comes to Wonder Bucks, the overall theme, I definitely think it was like a freestyle kind of anthem, you know, almost like a cipher kind of style as to where Bloodcat just kind of like they have the hook and like the kind of vision for it. But it's one of those ones that I feel like it's like a bit looser, and it's a bit more of Bloodcat just kind of like flexing like their lyrical and vocal ability when it comes to delivering and flows and cadences. This definitely wouldn't be one that I would dive into for like a super crazy theme, but it's gonna be nuts when it gets done for sure, for sure. So with that said, huge shout out to Bloodcat. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Bloodcat on Twitter at Catcalls Fashions. Twitter. They're 5 followers away from 10. Make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200 and we're approaching 300 actually. We're about 4 away. So make sure you go sub to the channel, man. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And of course, if you already have, thank you for supporting Music Mondays, my friends. We appreciate you. You dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. Much love. So, all right. Let's get into it. We left off with the homie Bloodcat. Up next is the homie Nick Fail. Hi, Zomslays. If I'm not too late, here's my trauma boy. Cheers, Nick. Let's fucking get it. So, the homie Nick Fail, a very talented alternative producer. Specifically with horror synth, dark synth, and more so electronic kind of flavors. But a very talented producer nonetheless. Submitted a track titled Trauma Boy. Let's see what we got here, man. I'm down. I'm definitely down. Okay. Crank up the volume. Go 720. Alright, let's get into it. Nick Fail, Trauma Boy. Go. Oh shit. All the homies. This was great. Like, I love the concept of this. Wow. Holy fuck. Well done. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Oh, ma era bello, ho capito un cazzo.
Facts.
Cioè, Nicola sbaglia.
Facts. That was fire. That was... I don't even... Like, really? Wow, man. Fire. Well done. Absolutely fucking well done, man. That was... Wow. And Homie Skull video's back, man. Homie Skull video coming through with another fucking insane edit. Alright, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's break it down. So we're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the official music video for Trauma Boy. That was nuts. That was quite literally a movie in a music video. Can't believe we just watched that. I actually can't believe we just watched that. Okay, so we're going to talk about three things, like I said. Let's start off with the instrumental. Instrumental mix is great, to be honest with you, especially with more kind of like the live instrument-based instrumentals and more heavier vocals. Sometimes that can get tricky to mix, right? And I feel like this one kind of hit all the boxes when it comes to the instrumental mix, so definitely no gripes here at all from me. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Even like the more heavier screams kind of sit nice as well. And again, you know, drums cut through nicely. So nothing I would really like ultimately change here, to be honest with you. So instrumental mix definitely much on point. Instrumental Shining Star. Man. Fuck, the drums are nuts. But the melody's nuts. But I think what's really, you know, got to be talked about here is the structure. I feel like the way this was structured and where the hook comes in and where everything comes out, and I just feel like the structure here is like really top tier. Like really, really top tier. So for me in the instrumental, definitely structure. 100%. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Great. I mean, especially again for what they are, more like heavier kind of style vocals, and they're great. I mean, again, nothing clashing to overbearing. I felt like the instrumental meshed nicely. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sat nice in the instrumental. Nothing that I have a gripe with, to be honest with you. Like I feel like they achieved the sound that they wanted to achieve here, and it's clean, it's clear, it's high quality. I mean, no gripes really, to be honest with you guys, especially for the type of style that it is. So for me, vocal mix is great, definitely. Vocal Shining Star is definitely the hook. I feel like the hook was very catchy, especially like for a song titled Trauma Boy. Like I feel like it was a very memorable and like catchy kind of hook for sure. So for me, definitely the hook. I mean, writing's a close second, but the hook definitely clears there for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk about the music video. So the homie from Skull Video actually came through and went absolutely crazy. So we got some Poltergeist footage, we got some Toxic Avenger footage, Frankenhooker footage, Class of Nukem Hot. So there's a lot of great classic trauma entertainment films here. Really, really interesting choices and like just like some real classic like B horror shit. So really like an awesome concept here. But the editing and like the way it's all split up is great, because it still feels very independent and very DIY, but it's so high quality and like so well directed and like sketched out. I feel like this had so much planning into it, but in a fun way. I feel like everybody here had a lot of fun planning this, and this felt like a whole B horror movie of movie within a movie kind of thing, right? Like the music videos within the movie, and the movies within the music video. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of those like insane kind of feels to it. So I think it is great. I mean the editing, fantastic. The concept, I think, is the shining star, though. I feel like, everybody collectively doing a really good job with this is, like, insane. But the concept itself of, like, coming up with, like, a movie within a movie and, like, putting it within a music video, I think is fucking insane. And plus, like, the B-horror taste is great here. I mean, you have a lot of classic horror, and it's just all littered throughout. And like, everybody just does, like, such a good job. Like, it just seems like everybody wanted to be a part of this and understood the vision. And they really got it done. You know what I mean? Like, they really got it. I mean, I'm probably biased being like a horror fan myself, right? But I do feel like they did a good job when it comes down to like the concept and like how they executed it, right? So definitely the shining star, 100%. But with that said, a huge shout out to Nick Fail. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Nick Fail on YouTube. They are 9 subs away from 80, so make sure you go show them some love on the tube. Of course, make sure you go follow Nick Fail on Twitter. They are 8 followers away from 440, so go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300, man. 300. We're about 4 away, so make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. And per usual, we upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. You guys know the motherfucking drill, man. So make sure you show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love. Let's get it, baby. If you already have, thank you, my friends. I see you dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good shit. So it's much appreciated. So up next would be the homie Laveries, but we had already reacted to Laveries earlier in the show because Laveries is a Music Mondays Patreon. So make sure you go check out Laveries' reaction and submission earlier in the show. So up next, last but not least, a first-time submitting artist by the name of Dilla Mayo. Okay. First time submitting artist. Shit, to end off on, I'm down. Okay. No bio. Very interesting. They sent in Amnesia Clip. Alright, I'm down. Popping up a new tab. First time submitting artist. Lane Dubs. Amnesia Clip. I believe this, oh, it did make SoundCloud Sunday. That's where I know this from. Okay. So this wasn't SoundCloud Sunday. Alright, let's get into it. Lane Dubs, first time submitting artist, Amnesia. Let's go.
Why are you crying, Lane? Because you deleted yourself from everyone's memory?
Oh shit.
Why are you crying?
insane work there, really, like truly fucking insane. I see why they call it clip though. But yeah, this was gas. This was like, we don't get a lot of like dubstep or like very much dubstep or like any EDM or anything like that. Like we don't get a lot of the more bass heavy genres often. And this was one where it's more tame, right? I feel like this is a lot more palatable to people who aren't as into dubstep as most, right? But well done. We're gonna talk about three things, or no, we're gonna talk about two things actually, because no vocals. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Amnesia. Joe, instrumental. Instrumental mix is great, to be honest with you, especially for something as like loud and well, not loud, but as like in your face as dubstep and this kind of like a bass heavy kind of sound. It's great, nothing clashing, too overbearing. I felt like everything kind of blended nicely. I'd imagine vocals would probably blend nice on this, but as far as everything goes here when it comes to sound selection and everything like that on the mix, fantastic. Definitely no gripes here at all with the instrumental mix whatsoever. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably, I mean, the structure's solid, but the intro outro are really good too. Probably the structure. I mean, for such a simple, minimalist kind of track, I feel like the structure did kind of, make the song a little bit more interesting, right? A little bit more kind of like, okay, like you're waiting for the drops, and the intro kind of has like a nice build to it. But the sound selection's up there too. But for me, Instrumental Shining Star's got to be the structure. I like the structure for sure, especially the intro outro. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. But definitely structure, sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Great choice of a photo. I mean, using these kind of like placeholder covers or even just using like some kind of media that you enjoy is like always a good shout. I feel like shit like that's like always a safe bet, especially for something like this, especially if you want to like throw a filter on or kind of like go simple with it. So aesthetics definitely on point. I like this choice. Simple, and again, straight to the point. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme of Amnesia. I mean, Amnesia could definitely be, more of a theme for Lane than, the listener, right? I mean, like having it called Amnesia could be a subtle subliminal. It could be so many other things, right? But I do feel like the overall kind of feel to this was like very personal, and I think Lane did a good job kind of making it unique in their own right. With that said, huge shout out to Lane. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Lane on SoundCloud. They are now 5 followers away from 20. Now that Music Mondays has followed them, make sure you go show them some love on SoundCloud, and of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are 2 followers away from 30, so make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird Out, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching we're fucking approaching 300, man. We're almost there, 300. We're about 4 away. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go sub to these artists. Or sub to the channel, show these artists some love, and run up the videos, man. You guys know the drill. Let's fucking get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you for supporting Music Mondays, man. You guys are amazing. Much love. So, let's get it, man. That concludes it for submissions for episode 192 of the Music Mondays podcast. Let's close it out. Let's show some love. Let's get some shout outs. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays this week. And let's get into it, man. So, huge shout out to everybody that came through and chatted tonight and just wanted to come through and lurk and chill with the kid, man. Even if you just stopped by for a couple seconds, we appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Huge shout out to homie Ricola. Thank you for coming through, lurking, chilling, all that good jazz. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted and tuned in tonight as well on the artist side of things. Huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patreon. Huge shout out to King Mark, Ryuki, Jordan, Brooker, and Laverius. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being Music Mondays patrons. I'll have some massive updates for you guys this upcoming week for sure. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight on episode 192. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps, Lucha Libro, Sin on Wuka, Offspring Mysterious, Jordan, Mac 2 times, Bad Valentine's, Bloodcat, Nick Fail, Laveries, and the homie Lane. Thank you, my friends. So, much love, and of course, this episode will be available on all audio platforms this Thursday. It'll be available on Patreon tonight, and it'll be available on YouTube this Saturday. Submissions open for episode 193 tomorrow. So again, if you're watching this live, submissions open tomorrow, Tuesday the 24th. If you're watching this anywhere else, submissions are already open, so make sure you go drop your links, drop your tracks, all that good jazz. And of course, I think the big thing here that we got to talk about is Cyberfest 2. Cyberfest 2 will be live here on Twitch Saturday, September 28th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you get ready for that. Lineup is available on all socials. You'll see some more promo and some more trailers going out this week for Cyberfest 2. Make sure you tune in, show some love to these artists, and get ready for that as well. And of course, we have a stack of content going out when it comes to Music Mondays. Lots of stuff we're wrapping up before the end of fall and the start of fall, and just a whole lot of stuff going down here at the platform. So, main thing is Cyberfest 2, but you guys know the drill, man. Get ready for Cyberfest 2 Saturday. Submissions open tomorrow. SoundCloud Sunday. Submissions open Wednesday. Make sure you follow us on all socials at All Music Mondays. Make sure you stream us on anchor.fm/All Music Mondays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. That's also available as well. And of course, make sure you follow me at Zom Slays on all socials. Make sure you follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All my socials, all the good stuff's linked down below. I'm live quite literally 5-6 days a week. So make sure you tune in, watch party jazz, speedrun jazz, gaming jazz, all that good stuff. We'll be live next week for episode 193 of the Music Mondays podcast, and I'll be live tomorrow per usual. So you guys know the drill, man. I love you guys. Be safe. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow and next week for the Music Mondays podcast episode 193. Let's fucking go.